video of 25543 Scott Street. I was in crisis, a mentally ill episode of coming off of Abilify too quickly. I was following psychiatrist's orders and tapered too quickly and ended up having a crisis. I had just moved to this place in August, and this is the front porch. This is the garbage I brought in to start cleaning up. I had been settled in. This place was spotless when I moved in, and all of this destruction occurred over about a week's time in February of 2024. My father has decided to evict me, and he came into my house several times without my approval. He walked in, and I was with guests. I had 2 male guests. I had 2 relationships, and 2 different times he came into my home without me asking or giving permission. He entered my home. I had been grieving. I had a family member pass away. This was from his funeral, and his name was Doug Klein. He was from my apostolic church background, which had a lot to do with why I had trauma erupt while I was tapering off of Abilify. After 8 years of forced drugging, I was starting to feel things again, and emotional trauma erupted, and I started doing some behaviors that were very unlike me, and having rituals, burning candles. My father was concerned that I was going to burn the house down, and this is a duplex. I do have a neighbor, and he is the landlord to both of these places I was renting. This is the front room. Everything is in disarray. I was not able to care for my home during that last week before I was involuntarily committed for 3 weeks. I was recently released this morning, which is March 8th, 2024. I was grieving a lot of people that I had lost. This was my stepfather. I was using alcohol to cope with the upcoming feelings that were traumatic in origin, and I made a mess. I take responsibility 100% for this mess, and I will be cleaning it up. I was definitely in emotional distress when this happened, and I am documenting it. Those are my belongings from the hospital. I'm a very organized, neat person. Before I ripped everything apart, my house was very organized. I had all of my clothing on shelves. Everything that that is seen here was put away. It was neat. It was tidy. The carpeting is brand new, and I understand my father's distress and his concern for his property. I am responsible, but I am also, in my opinion, not responsible because I was in emotional distress and coming off of severely strong pharmaceutical drugs. And I have been fighting against the forced drugging of the mental health code in Michigan. And yeah, this is the result of Abilify and tapering too quickly off of the psychotropic drug Abilify. There is, it isn't that bad, but I was obviously in distress. I was trying to organize things and have rituals to help myself grieve. I was going through a lot of childhood memories, concern about toxicity, makeup especially, and using substances wisely. These are some of the things that I was doing. There is no explanation for it. This is one of my diaries. I was going through a lot of the memories. These are my other diaries. A lot of the memories of trauma that I endured growing up. A lot of clothing. I have tons of clothing from years and years of work. And a lot of stuff. I used to have a lot more stuff. When I moved here, I had lost about 2/3 of my items downstate to a house where I lost the home. This is the remainder of my stuff. And it was perfect. It was very clean, very orderly. Obviously, I was in distress when these things occurred. I could not take the pressure any longer. The emotional distress was great. I moved into this place and it was hoarded. Before I moved in, I contributed about 25 hours worth of work cleaning out the hoard. And the previous tenant had died in the front room in a recliner. So I was dealing with spiritual things. I believe in reincarnation, and I believe that I was trying to help to reincarnate the dead previous tenant. And that is where a lot of this mess came from, was my spiritual efforts to try to help the deceased person to reincarnate. And then specifically in the bathroom here, for some reason I had thrown in hundreds of batteries. These are all dead batteries into the tub. I wanted to reincarnate the woman into a better life situation. I had some issues. Obviously, this place is pretty messy. My name is Jill Susan Kesty, and I take responsibility for this. I will be cleaning this mess up and getting out of my father's house, which is his rental and his right to evict me. I understand that. I currently have a house in Ontonagon, and I will be trying, this is the upstairs, I will be trying to rectify the situation and get out of here so that my father will feel safe, that his rental is safe. This is the upstairs, and I have not been up here yet, so I don't know. I started using alcohol. These are not all my alcohol bottles. I was having guests over here. This place was never unpacked fully. From the time I moved in August, I had not had a chance to organize or clean this area up. So this is pretty much what it looked like since August. I'd put a few things out here and there, but in general, these are just my things. And I'm just doing a video to document how bad of an area this all is. This area is obviously worse. Holy cow. Yeah, I was trying to reincarnate the dead spiritually. Like I said, I take responsibility for this, and I have tons of clothing. There's more in the front porch downstairs, and I'll be getting rid of a lot of these things. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a big mess to clean up. But this is pretty much just what it looked like. Oh my goodness. We've got some mess up here too. A lot of this is going to have to go to the garbage, I guess. And that's my video for now of all of the items I have.